Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
As the NFL season prepares to begin, we realize that much of the country's attention will be distracted for the next 6 months. But rest assured, these two geniuses will be paying attention to the things that matter the most. Themselves. You're welcome, America. This is Dave and Juan.
What you do. And
what else is that?
And 3, number 2, 1. Oh, you know it. And just this week, maybe even more than ever, America. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's right. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're back.
Gratitude. Send it.
Yeah, we're back. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
That's right. Here to overmodulate to you this week.
Yeah, sorry about that, peeps.
Those of you that haven't caught up on last week, it was one of those. It was funny. The ironic, and I don't know if I'm using the word properly in this case, but maybe I am. And would it be ironic if I was using ironically improperly?
Yeah. Isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know,
think?
but I'm not going to see to find out. We were talking about doing voiceovers.
Yeah.
About the voiceover work you do.
Yeah.
You're starting to do, and that's the podcast that your mic was turned up to 15 or something, man. It was
Dude, that was so, and for the first time ever, my boss actually listened to the podcast.
Oh, that's not good, dude. That is not good.
And so he told me Friday, oh yeah, I was up like really early this morning and I tuned in your podcast. That's good. I said, man, my mic just sounded like crap. He said, what do you mean? I said, never mind.
Yeah. If you don't realize how bad that was,
yeah.
I don't want to tell you. And then that's when people probably look at you, dude, like we care. It's not like it's not like
you sound good on a normal day.
Exactly. It's not like, man, you know what? The wisdom you guys throw out just sounds so much better.
Well, let me talk about the wisdom we throw out. What was it, like 3 weeks ago that we talked about, and you brought it up, quiet quitting. Now it's all over the place.
Well, it's how I am. I'm not necessarily ahead of my time, but I was having this conversation yesterday with some friends at a brewery, which that's a good place to have conversation with friends. And I don't watch it. I realize I say that too often. We were at a brewery. Sounds like that's the only thing we did. We do other things besides that. But I was talking about the blessing and the curse of paying attention, right? And I do. Like I've been that way with. You can't just, obviously, we know this already, and we tell you guys every week, everybody's lying. They are all lying. Most of them are lying intentionally. Some are just lying because they're stupid. Same thing. But most of the information you see, you have to actually go out and find people. And
some lie because they lied and then have to come out.
Oh, yes.
Cover up the lie with another lie.
Man, listen, that's everywhere.
That's not what I meant.
Or they did things, and yeah, the last thing you're ever going to do is come back and admit, this is why you should never listen to me again. So they just pretend. We said that last week. Well, the facts changed. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But just paying attention to what's going on out there and around the world, and you see it. You see video. That's the thing. Like, if you want to right now, it's not very hard to. You can see videos of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people marching across the southern border. I mean, they're just coming in, and we're not even checking it. We're just stamping things. Exactly. Flying them all over the country. That's been going on for the better part of it, over a year, and you don't see it, right? So, and
oddly, they fly them in, late night.
Yeah, oddly.
When you or I probably couldn't get a flight.
Probably not. Landing it too. But anyway, so that's all happening, and that's not so much our job to bring it, but that's because then we're going to get slapped with a ban again, right? Be careful what words we can and cannot say, because they can just throttle you down. Oh yeah, nobody's gonna watch this one this week. And that's not what we're here to do. We're here to play around anyway. But the quiet quitting thing, yeah, that's I'm even putting it in. I got a ton of presentations coming up. And I'm including that. I do it with humor, right? Because I always love how people take something and pretend it's new.
Yeah.
It's the new phenomenon of quiet quitting. And this is where millennials, they're going to have to drop the millennial thing now, because millennials are, I think some of them are 40 by now.
Yeah.
So
they wear that like some badge of honor.
We got to go Gen Z or whatever after that. But, trying to make it sound like, millennials have decided that they're not going to burn themselves out at work, and they're going to, that's new. That's
again, it's just it's a polite way of saying lazy.
Well, or just, my big line was always, you got people that quit, they just didn't leave yet.
Yeah.
Because you pay them every 2 weeks. Right? No, nobody can believe you didn't get rid of them yet, but you didn't. And they don't want to be here. You can look at them. They tell you, heck, they walk around all day long telling you they don't want to be there.
Well, I've said for years, the best thing to be is a mediocre employee. Yeah. They don't expect a lot of you. You do a little extra, it's like, whoa, he's on fire.
They don't teach you that. They did not teach me that in Nickel State Business School.
No.
Now if I go back, and I joke with that before, my wife even teased about, one of these days, because got a house right there, I'm going with my mom's right there on campus.
You'll show Rick how to be a professor.
Man, please. But no, I bet you Rick's really good.
I bet he is.
As much of a goober as that guy is, I bet you he's the kind of instructor you need. And people don't know what we're talking about, and this was not on anything, but if you haven't listened to the podcast before, guess what? It's like a cow trail going down a pasture. It's like all of a sudden, why did it turn there? I don't know. Something must have spooked the cow, and the cow went that way. No, because Rick's the kind of guy. He was a friend of ours back at Nickel State, Canashie. He's been a WAFB.
Did a feature on Mike the Tiger last night.
Treated
Mike the Tiger. So
photojournalist with
an occasional feature reporter.
That's right. Does a lot of stuff, and he does some writing as well. But you wouldn't know it. You look at Rick, you figure he didn't finish 7th grade, but he. Hey man, I did a radio show with that guy too, dude. You think it's something doing wrong with you, man? I ain't carrying all the weight over here, Rick. Oh gosh. I got backaches from carrying that guy on a radio show, man. I'm just doing that to clip it and send it to him. That's not really true, but no, he'd be the kind of guy you'd want to take a class with. He's done it, and he's funny.
Yeah, still does it.
Yeah, it works his tail off, and he's funny, and that's what you want. That's what you pay for, right? And again, I'm not, man. We don't always. It sounds like we're always dumping on schooling, which some people would say, I know why you guys are dumping on schooling. Y'all don't sound like y'all got none.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you've been in some of these classes with people who've never done it, right? They've never done it. Like, okay, you're telling me business concepts and business this and business that, and they never talk about engagement. They never talk about, at least back in the day, maybe they do now, but they never talk to us about, today's class is about working for the boss's son. Right? Right? That'd be we all have. That'd be a great one to have, right? Various things. What do you do when you look around and realize you're working with a bunch of quack chews?
Right.
Well, you have to do a self-assessment. Are you a quack chew? Don't answer too quick. You're working, right? You understand something. If you're looking around and everybody you're working with is pretty low, it's pretty low standard. Hey,
you didn't just slide in.
How'd you end up there, bro? And if you've been stuck for a long time working with a bunch of quack chews and you haven't elevated out of quack chewdom, I don't know that quack chewdom is a word, but it is.
Yeah, it's a word now, man.
Bruh, we gotta get the t-shirt printing going.
Maybe it'll be the Merriam-Webster dictionary word of the year. If we could get on that.
Quack. I'm not even going for that. Maybe the David Juan.
I wouldn't know how to spell it though. So
quack chewdom. Quack chewed. Well, I'll figure that out later. We'll throw it up on the screen later for those of you that are just listening to the audio again.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're depriving you. That's like getting a big piece of cake and scraping the frosting off. What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? It's better. it's better if you have the frosting on it, but there you go. But yeah, quiet quitting, bro. That's, you know. But my thing is, if they know you're not trying, it ain't quiet. Like it's
Well, they just think you're stupid or lazy
well,
or whatever. So
yeah, who's the lazy, who's stupid? You pay me every 2 weeks.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So here, I'll tell you a story about a guy who ought to quit
Okay.
with something. So, and going back to the voiceover thing too. So we've talked about this here and there. You know, I do a little voiceover on the side.
Try to do a little more. And part of that is I send
out emails, just marketing emails, real basic. Yeah, find people on
who are in the, identify themselves as being in the production business and just,
Send them a quick note introducing myself and asking if it's okay if I send them their demo. So yeah, sent out a group of them this week. Got a response from this guy. His name is Matt. I don't even know where Matt is from.
Howdy, Matt.
Yeah, but it says, Juan, look at me. I'm about to turn 48. I have $249 to my name. No car. I work 40 hours a week at this car wash where my manager verbally abuses me on an almost daily basis. My life is in the toilet and I have zero prospects of getting out of it. You have more money and more career than I ever have or ever will.
Thanks, Matt.
Brighten my day.
You ought to respond. You know, Matt, I was having a bad day.
Yeah,
Until, well, you know, you gotta tell him, Matt, you might not want to watch all of the Dave and Juan podcast, but grab one and at least go to the last 5 minutes where where these two choose tell you every week, bruh, go live your best life. Go. So Matt, so how, okay, this is the first thing that pops into mind for me is, who is Matt? I'm guessing like where
Matt
you find this guy.
Matt lists himself on LinkedIn as a video production manager.
Okay.
So someone who would be typically in the market, a potential client for
video production manager.
Right.
Yeah. Do they actually pay decent money for voiceover work anymore? It just seems like, and they might. Yeah. Do they? Okay. Because it just seems.
I mean, some people won't, but
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll see. I got a son that does stuff, and I gotta tell him, it's like, yeah, it'd be kind of fun for you, just a side, side gig. But I don't know. It's dude, it's it sound like an aggravated Cajun, bro. It's a racket. It's all a racket, man. You can't get in. Doesn't matter how good you are, there, bro.
It's work.
You gotta get, and a lot of times getting lucky, landing on the right. Right. You gotta throw a bunch of seeds out there, y'all.
Right.
Before anything takes root. Okay. But hey, good luck, Matt.
Right. Pulling for you, bro.
Hey, just tune into Dave and Juan. We'll see what we can do. We'll try to we throw life advice out every week.
When you talked about managing a car wash, I wanted to say,
wait, he managed it?
I'm sorry, working at a car wash. I want to say, as a big fan of Breaking Bad, Walter White was in a car wash, and he made some jack.
Might have been. I didn't. That's one of the series everybody tells me gotta go watch.
It's good.
I told you this. I did I did on purpose what drives everybody crazy. I watched the last episode.
Oh,
That's it. I've never seen a single episode of Breaking Bad, but I made it a point to watch the last one. Why? Because everybody went, you can't just watch the last episode. You gotta know. Nope. I'm just gonna watch the last one. And I'm gonna judge it on that. You can't judge. No, I'm gonna judge it on that. You can't tell me how to watch stuff, but
watch it backwards.
There you go, man. I know what he's complaining about. He's if he literally has what is it, 100 something bucks for
200.
200. That's where you don't want to get too deep with them, saying, okay, bro, I'm not a financial advisor, but are you truly net positive $100 something, or do you owe a bunch of money and $100 something is just what you have?
That's just what's in your account.
Yeah. Can we talk about the concept of net worth? Because, and look, I ain't even judging, and this America's kind of messed up right now. Something like 30% of Americans, I hope I'm getting that right, but it's a stat, look it up, cannot pay their utility bills these days.
Wow.
Right? I know it's millions and millions and millions, and I want to say it was 30. It might be that sounds high. So I may be wrong on that, but it's an insane amount of like, okay, what comes next, right? And that's the thing too. They're saying like, oh, all the shutdowns are coming. They keep I've been reading and hearing people saying, hey, hang on getting your car because they got so many repos coming, right? Literally, they're projecting hundreds of thousands, millions of repossessed cars, evictions. That's supposed to be like so many people are not paying rent, right? But that's how it used to work in a world that, remember, like these stuff in school, how things worked, and if you didn't pay something, you either couldn't keep it or you had to leave. Right? That's sort of how the world always worked. That's not really how it works anymore. Right?
Well, that's because the people who own the stuff are unfair and they're mean.
Yeah, how dare you? Just because I'm living in a property you paid for, you pay insurance on, you have to handle the utilities on, you have to you maintain it. How dare you expect me to pay you?
My father-in-law owns some
and just because I signed,
property.
and just because I signed a legal document that said I was going to pay you, how dare you?
So he had a tenant who wasn't paying, and he couldn't do anything about it because of whatever the moratorium. And then when they got back on their feet, I'm not sure that they were ever off their feet. They paid partial rent 1 month.
Partial.
Not anything they owed back rent. But then they got mad at him because he didn't express enough gratitude. So they stopped paying again.
Oh, dude, that's like a movie scene. Yeah. Really didn't express enough he didn't express enough gratitude for you paying me a fraction of what you owe me.
Not just they paid like half of the current month. None of the back months, but
that's because so many people, and I guess maybe that's what they're trying to do. They try to make it seem like everything, well, just the government, like everything. They want to think that anything you pay money to is just somehow tied to the government. No, that's an individual. That's a person.
Dude's got to pay rent on it. He'll pay the mortgage.
So many people got destroyed because a lot of folks, granted, it's not what I'm not me, but people around the country that have properties, that's their income. Like, and there's some people that really that's how they make a living. They have a few rental properties that it's a business, guys. You have to pay to keep those things. That's the thing. It's like, hey,
you got to pay taxes on it. Got to pay insurance on it.
You own a house. Yeah, you own a house, but you know what? You also own. You own a government up your butt 24/7. Like you can't just own something. You got to pay taxes on it. You got to have insurance on it. You got to have if you got tenants in it. You got to have There's a big long list of and sometimes maybe some months you don't have a lot of expenses, but some months you had way more expenses than whatever the rent is. Mm-hmm. But ignorance is bliss, and man, we got some blissful people out there.
Well, and you talking about utilities again in California, their prices must be going up. Or they won't, maybe they're not because they're gonna have to cut back.
At what point? I mean, and I guess never. I was talking, so I got to be in California in a few weeks. And I talked about that. I just want a map. Like, where can I? And there are so many places back in the day. If I knew I was coming into Los Angeles, I would try to get there a little early to go check out a couple things. Yeah. Because it's cool. Now, dude, if I could figure out a way if it was possible to land, get an Uber with somebody who was criminally background checked, get to where I got to do the dog and pony show, get back in the same car. I'll pay this guy just to wait. It'll be an hour. It'll be an hour. What's your hourly rate? Get me back to the airport and let's get. I would do that because it's a different place. But so they came out, magically waved the wand and said that by I think it's 2030, right? California says by 2030 you cannot sell. You cannot sell a combustion engine, a gas powered car. Yeah. The vehicles that run the world, the vehicles that have made America what it is,
not just the vehicles operated by the fuel that runs the world.
Yeah, that's right. 100%. So California magically says, and can't do that no more because we're going to go to electric. And what, 3 days later?
3 days later,
3 days after that announcement.
please don't charge your electric vehicles.
I think they said it just like that because I think some old Cajun, California PSA, some old Cajun. Y'all.
Yeah, don't charge them, bro. Yeah.
Y'all. Okay,
We
listen,
need your help.
let me. We're all in the same team, y'all.
Yeah. No, we're not.
When you go to bed at night,
Yeah.
don't charge those. Don't charge. Hey, why would you? They're supposedly magic, right? So
I think get you anywhere, man.
by California logic, you could probably just go plug it into a tree. Go
It's green energy.
makes sense to me. Take that plug, go stick it in the ground.
Yeah.
Mother Earth will charge that thing for you. But
And then in was it Denver or Colorado?
I got that. Yeah. So nobody reads the fine print. And I don't even know if there's fine print when you sign these contracts with your energy company. And I think it was something called XL. I'm not exactly sure what the name of the company was, but there are several providers in the Colorado and Denver market. And I want to say it was 25,000 people found out the hard way that, that you got I guess a pretty good rate on your power, but you also gave total control of your thermostat to the power
And so
company.
I guess it's a provided thermostat, or
Oh yeah. That's how it works. They part of the deal, right? And lower 90-degree day, which to us that's a lovely day. That's spring.
I might open the windows.
Oh man, 91, like 91, 92. Come on, man. It's a great spring day. But it was kind of warm by Colorado standards, and 25,000 people or so realized you ain't got control of your thermostat, bro.
It's not as warm as you thought.
Power company says, it's kind of peak time, and we can only supply so much. And if we would have to, because electricity, they can think it's fungible, right? They get it from somewhere else, and if they had to provide what you contracted for them to provide, it's going to cost them more money.
Right.
So it's easier for them. They shut
They're
this
just
thermostat.
They're just reselling it.
Bro, we're not gonna kill you. You could sweat. I mean, you might not be able to, you're not gonna, you'd be all right. Drink some water, drink some water. So, and when I heard that, now you try not to be, I don't want to be that way, but I guess I am. Because you envision the people that signed up for this stuff, and not some of them got suckered, but you envision the people that felt really good about themselves. Because this probably came with they run some of these ads here in Texas too, like such a percent of our energy is generated by solar and wind, and it's like, yeah, except when it's not. On windy, sunny days, you guys are rocking, and then not even so much. But they play that crap like, oh, I'm gonna get this energy company because the energy in my house is being provided by. No, it's not, dude. No, it's not. You got a good marketing campaign. So that's what happened. You had a bunch of people that bought into the marketing campaign. Like, I am saving the earth by getting my energy from blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Until blah, blah, blah says, no energy for you, bro. They're like the soup Nazi. Right? No cool for you.
No power for you.
No cool for you. Come back tomorrow. See what you.
Well, you would think they would all, out of the goodness of their heart, just crank up the AC or the thermostat, that you wouldn't have to do that in a controlling way.
Well,
yeah, no,
they're trying to train you guys. Shame on you. Shame on you, customer.
Yeah.
Shame on you. You should not.
I'm trained. 72 when I get home in the afternoon, 70 when I go to bed.
Dude. Well, you downsized.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the space you got now, like if I tried to keep my house at 72, dude, we right now we'd be all telling people, hey man, hit that Patreon that we got for Dave and Juan. help us keep the lights on, but we don't.
Yeah,
have
in
Patreon,
fact,
by
this
the way.
morning I checked my, Facebook memories. And this is from when I used to live before I downsized, and the post was something like, when your electric bill gets over $500, it means it's time for the fall to get here. So that's.
Jeez. Yeah, I bet. I'm afraid to see what my mom's. Like I said, I don't know what the last one was. She was like 600 a few months, a couple months ago. But I thought about that when I read the story or heard the story with, so Denver shutting off the thermostat. What do you think? One of the first things that popped into my mind. What do you think would have happened back in the day, and maybe it probably happened now, but especially back in the day, like my dad, my uncle's time, if the power company even had that ability to quote unquote cut off your thermostat, man, all the jerry rig jobs that be going on out there. You talk about some cages be rewiring their houses on
right.
the
They're
fly.
running off the pole.
Oh man. And then telling everybody, like, hey, bro, that's how you do this, man. You gotta.
yeah. If your neighbor can't figure it out here, just tap into mine.
Hey, man. No, yeah, knock new over there. He got that.
Yeah.
He knows how to do that. Like, call. Hang on, he's helping Tauntna rewire their thermostat. He's gonna come. Yeah, them power companies. You just let me know if you see the truck. If you see the truck, that means they're looking. You gotta hide.
You stand outside while I'm doing.
That's right. You hide when you see the power truck coming, and just in case. But anyway, so hey, good luck, Denver. With dealing with that. The other, again, you talked about quiet quitting. So the Wall Street Journal, which I guess I don't read it religiously. I just, like most people these days, a column comes across, look at it now and then. They had a column about a week or two ago, and I remember when I just read the headline, and I thought, well, that's worth paying for, because Wall Street Journal is a subscription, right?
Subscription based.
I was like, so that's the kind of high level advice you're looking for, and it's basically said something like, even if you like your job, the Wall Street Journal says that taking another job for more pay is a good strategy. That's a great career advice, Wall Street Journal, because that's the big problem everybody has. I just can't get all my work done with all these other companies offering me more money. Different jobs and more money. I don't.
By the time I get settled in this one, somebody else is. I tell them don't print me a business card, because somebody else is gonna offer me more money.
Y'all need to hide me is what y'all need to do, because apparently everywhere I go, I mean,
bro, I'm getting off of LinkedIn. I don't want nobody to see me.
You need to talk to my friend Matt. Matt looks like he could, I think Matt could use a job. Matt,
I'm down at the car wash.
I'm guessing Matt may be ready to relocate.
Right.
And but you know what? We're gonna have to adopt Matt. I feel bad. I say that. I don't know. He might even be a real person, dude.
I'm gonna say, he might be from Houston. I'll send him your way.
Don't give him my address. Don't give him my address. Nothing personal, Matt. I probably will shoot you. I mean, I just, don't.
He could be like your personal valet or something when you travel.
Don't need one. Dude, I can barely stand to get my own butt everywhere when I travel. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to have some, traveling. What? Really? Because I'm annoyed as it is. A lot of it coming up. We're going to joke about that. So, dude, in the next, we may have, we're trying not to record on the road. I think we could between. So like in the next week, I got to go to Arkansas. I'm flying into the Bill and Hillary Clinton airport. I think that's what they call it. No lie. I'm pretty sure
it's called Hope.
That's right. And I may pop into the Clinton Presidential Library and Lounge. I think it's I think it's right there on the river. I think it's on the, so I got to go to Little Rock next week. Week after that, I'm in Indianapolis. No, well, flying to Indianapolis, I think. Or maybe Louisville, but I'm going to French Lick, Indiana.
Nice.
Yeah. French Lick is actually pretty cool. I've been there once before. It's a beautiful, it's a casino now. Everything's a casino, but it's an old building. French Lick, Indiana used to be a place. It's still a place, but like everybody always said, Larry Bird's from French Lick, Indiana. They always made it sound like French Lick was some kind of cornfield. And I'm sure they got that stuff, but French Lick back in the day, and I'm talking back 100 years ago or so, was a central, like presidents had meetings and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy. So French Lick, the week after that, I got to go to, and I say I'm the privilege of going to Point Clear, Alabama. Now here's what's funny. Dude, what part am I in my life? So my next 3 weeks, I'm in Little Rock, French Lick, and Point Clear. Like you'd swear I was an insecticide salesman or something. Like,
where is Point Clear?
Dude, I don't know, but it's nice because it's a banker convention. It's at some grand hotel, something. I don't know. like I said, yeah, all the times we've driven between Louisiana and Florida, I don't even remember,
Yeah.
bro. I don't even remember seeing a sign for Point Clear.
Yeah.
I gotta look. I'll look it
I
up
don't think
after a
it's on
while.
the coast. And I've driven, I mean,
I don't know.
driven to
I'm not
different
even sure
parts
where I
of
gotta
Alabama.
fly. And I keep looking over here because I'm still old school. I got all my digital stuff, but I keep a big calendar on the wall that you can't see, just so I can look up sometimes and get a visual of, am I home? Am I? So yeah, no, that's there. And then the week after that, I got to go to Tempe, Arizona. All right. The week after that, I got to go to Dallas. That's not too bad. Now the week after this is going to be the funny one. Me and you're going to joke around. So on Monday, I got to speak at a place called Gloucester, Virginia. All right. On Tuesday, I got to speak in Indianapolis. On Wednesday, I got to speak in the morning in Atlanta and in the afternoon in Charlotte.
Man, it's like banking season.
And the day after that, I got to speak in Richmond, Virginia. And then yeah. And then it's the Joe Burrow weekend with the Saints and stuff. And
well, you'll be in Richmond, you're not that far from Cincinnati. Maybe you could ride back with Joe.
Dude, Richmond, Virginia, that's a ways.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah. And it's funny, back 100 years ago, flights were pretty easy. Like, when they were back in the Stone Age, when the United States had an airline system that worked.
A system that worked. And
you remember that? Remember
run off all the employees
when it was free market? Yeah. And they had all the employees and it was great jobs. Everybody wanted to work for the airlines. Yeah, you had just this long list of flights and you could just get, I don't know how many people have done this lately, I just need to get from point A to point B. And cities that you actually can, you recognize the names. It's not like I'm trying to fly from Dry Prong, Wyoming to Pankerville, Louisiana, right? Dude, it's impossible, man. It's like, what? It's scary. I had to download apps. There are airlines that I never fly that they're the only ones that have certain flights.
Well, and it's going to, with a schedule like that, if one gets delayed,
dude, I'm going to be
domino effect.
I'm going to be Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, man. I'm going to be like, hey, because that's when it's costing you money. Like other times, it ain't like you go.
Maybe you do need Matt.
You need to give me Matt's.
Yeah, Matt could drive you around.
Matt's information. Matt doesn't sound like the kind of guy I want driving me. I'm just saying, that
he's not going to cheer you up. Put it that way.
All that was missing from his message to you was, I live in a van down by the river. Okay.
Could have been a step up.
Dude, I just like somebody at that, sharing that kind of information.
Yeah. I always tell people when they share, obviously you don't know me.
Right.
If you did, you wouldn't be sharing this.
It's not that I don't care, but for true, I don't care.
I don't care, bro.
I don't. Here's the deal. I don't wish bad on you.
No.
I want you to succeed. You just need to understand. It's hard enough to live my life, man. Like, hey, right? I mean,
I responded. I said, "Oh man, sorry. Good luck. Hope wish the best for you."
Can you pass my tape on to somebody?
Yeah. You got any other contacts I could share?
If you believe in karma, you need to pay it forward and pass my thing on to. But yeah, and you would think I'd be done. No, man. The week after that, I get back from the Saints thing. It's Los Angeles. That's going to be the interesting one. And the week after that is back to Arkansas. What happens that I'm in Arkansas again? And then the Woodlands, and then Louisville. Yeah, it's crazy. It's bank season. It's I guess
it's conference season.
Yeah, well, not all these are conferences. It's like different individual banks, but it's. I always tell people God has a sense of humor, right? And it's always like, be careful. Always be careful what you wish for and whatever like that. And then 2 years ago, that was the schedule, right? And don't get me wrong, this ain't complaining. This is like, okay, this is what you do. You bust your tail to, the thing about make some hay when the sun's shining, right? So the opportunity, you got to go get it. But then it's almost like a joke with people. I always would ask people like, do you guys all have a meeting and decide, hey,
I got him today. You get him tomorrow.
Hey, let's do this. Let's all have meetings at the same time. Call that rodeo clown. Let's see if he wants to come.
Well, you could pitch them on a concept of all getting together and having a meeting, and then they just
they don't pay you enough. It ain't.
No, I was gonna say, but then they have to pool the money to pay you.
It ain't pitching to the pot. Right, so it's It's not how it works, man. Not how it works. And then you try to, you know, and here's what's funny. I have this one, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna give them the name, great organization. And I'm very, very happy, very honored to work with them. But sometimes you start dealing with people that are somewhere down the pecking order as far as, you know, they sort of they organize things. They're not the person signing the check. They're not but they're the person tasked with logistics and stuff like that. And I guess a lot of times these people, I always try to play the game of what's that personality, where this comes from. They want to overmanage things, right? They want to overmanage.
They got to shine, man. They got a little bit of power. They want to shine.
And then sometimes people make comments and not, I don't think truly understand. Like, do you know how insulting what it is? Everybody send you an email, and I don't know if they mean it to be insulting, but and this person was like, well, we noticed that you've spoken at, and she listed like a couple things that I'd spoken at. You know, but so some of these attendees may have gone to those conferences as well. Just want to make sure that your message is going to be different. Right. It's like, yeah, that'd be okay. Sure. That's yeah. Let me do that for you. I'm going to show up and do gumbo recipes.
Right. You know, you're not going to talk about any of the things that they hired you to talk about.
Yeah. None of the stuff. Right. Like, you know, the hard part is not telling a joke. The hard part is writing a joke. Okay. Anybody can listen to somebody, and that might be the same, going down the same line there, but I get that a lot. When you talk, my favorite with folks, sometimes, man, I really enjoyed that. You know, they didn't really tell us anything I didn't know.
Bro, you're smart.
Like, and I'm trying to think, wait, is this the compliment, or who are you complimenting, you or me? Like, you know, and that's what I always want to kick back saying, really? Because that's why you took pictures of like half the slides, really? Because you didn't know that? Oh, I can't believe this guy copied what I already knew. I'm
going to prove it.
I'm going to prove. But turn this into HR. That's what it's about, man.
You ought to sit down and say, you know, be like Dave Chappelle. You know, no cell phones allowed.
Well, no, I actually like that, because otherwise, well, look, man, it's all, everybody's got a job to do. Okay. Right. And some people don't realize what it takes to do the job well. Right. And it's part of it. You just, you know, like watch a plumber. You could probably do what that plumber did in a week.
Right. After you watched him do it.
Right.
Videos.
So you just know.
He basically gave you the steps.
And it's always, look, man, and again, and it's kind of funny because a lot of times I'll start talking about this and it's actually business advice. You know, I share with other people. It's just know what your job is. Know what your job is.
One of the hardest things is to make something look easy.
Well, and know what, okay, somebody's paying you to do something. What are they looking for? Like, what, end of the day, what makes that person happy? All right, that's your goal. Your goal is to, all right, so know what your role is, figure out, and there are things that come in and into play with it. Believe it or not, one of the things that it took me about 20 years to figure out, dude, you got to stick the landing. What's the time? Stick it and get out, right? Because there's always a tendency, if you're having fun and a group's with you, and
keep on going. Everybody's
laughing, everybody's having fun. You just, man, let me just stretch this. And it's like, and what ends up happening is the better the group, the more screwed you are on the back end, because you save, you know, if you know what you're doing.
Right. You save the best for last.
Hey, Goo Goo Dolls closes with Iris, right?
Right. I mean, I was about to use a concert reference.
Okay. That, you know, Def Leppard closed this massive concert here the other day. It was Joan Jett, Poison. That's what friends were telling me this. They were at the concert. And so Joan Jett, they said it was amazing. Poison is a whole bunch of fun. They said Poison is still just a whole bunch of fun. Motley Crue's a train wreck. And then Def Leppard closed. And I think when the concert tour started, Motley Crue was supposed to be closing, but I think they realized, no, you can't do that because people are leaving after Def Leppard because Motley Crue doesn't. So, you know, but yeah, Def Leppard closes with Photograph, right? I mean, it's you close with, well, when you're doing whatever this is, you can't. If you gotta end and you just realize, oh, all my good stuff, like my favorite stuff, maybe not the best, my favorite stuff is toward the end. You end up having to be an auctioneer trying to, because the one thing the person that's putting on this event doesn't want you to do, they don't want you messing up their agenda. They don't, right? But of course, sometimes, like I said, I could be like, the one I was at 6 months ago where they ran up to me frantically an hour before I was supposed to go on. Can you go on now?
I got this. I got this.
Come on, man.
You brought up the Goo Goo Dolls. I know you went to see them the other night. How was that?
It was surprising, not surprisingly good. It was good. It was good. I was a little annoyed with them, and maybe just not because of it's been over 2 years, right? We had tickets.
Right, you bought these. This show has been rescheduled and rescheduled.
I had good tickets. What paid good money for tickets over 2 years ago. They postponed the show, and I sat on them for about a year. I just said, when they come, they're going to reschedule. It got rescheduled. I was ready. They postponed it again. So then I was like, yeah, all right, tap out. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to have my credit balance on Ticketmaster for, keep playing with the money. So I got a refund, and then they said, they finally were going to come. And I said, all right, I'm going to wait. And these days tickets are, everybody buys them. It's all, do we still call them scalpers?
I don't know, but it's like, you can, before the tickets go on sale, you can typically find third-party sellers,
verified resale, just annoying, right? But so I held off, and then partly, but I mean, they're really playing. It's less than 10 minutes down the street, and so the night
Resnick could have been recovering from facial surgery, or
man, he looks okay though. He doesn't. And now, granted, I wasn't up close.
Yeah. In the photos, though, I mean, he looks like
bad. He looks rough.
He looks like Michael Jackson in his cultural appropriation phases of whiteness.
And you gotta wonder, like, what are you doing? Like,
a good-looking guy.
And you know what? You can see some videos of him right now doing interview and stuff. Who looked at that and said,
"That's a good move."
Unless his attitude is, make it look like this might be my last tour. Make it look like I'm in bad health. And if you're a Goo Goo Dolls fan, you better come see me. But I don't think that's what it was. He just bad. But he looked good. He looked good. And I didn't realize this. So it's a pretty big place here, Smart Financial. And I was ready the night before the concert. I'm like, I'm going to pick up some tickets tonight because I was trying to say who's going to be in town. My wife's somewhere else. So my older son's around. So, hey, you want to go? Let's go. You're not going to go to the concert. And I'm ready to click buy tickets. Not great seats. I said I want the cheapest seat in the place because it's all good. And I was like, I don't know, $50-something, $70 a seat. I'm getting ready to do it. And my wallet was downstairs. So I'm like, I got to go get it. So I go downstairs, and as I'm going downstairs, my wife just got back. So we start talking, and, about an hour goes by, I'm doing whatever. Come back upstairs, you go to buy the tickets. Apparently the 24-hour window had hit. Man, they were almost half price. It went from, It went from like 55 to 31 or something. Like, look at this. I'm like, hey. And then I feel like cha-ching, and then I was like, man, do I wait another 12 hours? Let me see what the, but yeah. Good show. They were great. We ended up sitting next to young man and woman. They were friends. They both work for Amazon. What's her name? Is Priscilla. Great. It's cool. It's cool to meet some folks. Don't know them. Young, maybe 20s. The guy was like in his lower 20s, and she was. They're just buddies. They're buddies that work, and they love this band called Blue October, or she loves this band called Blue October. That was the warm-up act. And anyway, you just meet, and it's kind of funny. You're just sitting there, drinking a beer at a concert, and almost like your boy Matt. Your boy Matt hit you. Now, granted, hit you with a life story on a thing, but just all of a sudden you end up in conversations with people that like, wow, we're talking pretty deep personal background stuff here. But anyway, when she had to go somewhere, the young man, again, he's in the lower 20s, and he didn't know the Goo Goo Dolls at all. So I'll start telling him.
Classic rock to him, man.
Oh yeah, it is. So I started telling him the story. I told him the story about Name and how that song took off. He was like, what? And then here's what's funny too. And this is, guys, it's so, whenever you tell anybody, back in the day I was on radio. What? Like, they think once you get into radio, you never get out of radio. Like, why would you ever?
A glamorous gig.
Yeah, so glamorous. But I said, yeah, I told him a story, and he was cool. It was like, and I got him excited for a couple of the songs coming up, and I forgot the playlist. I said, I can tell you what's coming. I know it's And then I said, yeah, that's a great venue and stuff. I said, it's a good place for shows. And I said, like we were here one time, really good show with Styx. Dude, blank face. He's like, who? I said, Styx. Is that a band? And you have to wait. Like you wait for a little while. Like, oh, he is serious. I said, yeah, you never heard of Styx? No. I said, they had some songs. They might have songs you may have heard. There's, Mr. Roboto, and it's a shame you got to go to Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, Lord. I saw that tour though.
Because that's the one that the Volkswagen commercials a few years back. That's the only, I started research. So and then I said, well, and then I started playing a game. I said, do you know who Journey is? Nope.
Wow. I thought all kids do Journey because of whatever young TV shows it's been on.
Well, now he knew the song when you put it out there. But tell you what, by the time it was over with Goo Goo Dolls, this guy he was live streaming or whatever they do on Instagram or whatever. He was just like, loving life, man, showing the goos. But it was good. It was good. It was good.
Well, yesterday on the way to school, I made my daughter pay attention to a song that is one of those things that was always a bad song, but so bad you still have to listen to it. Yeah, play that funky music, white boy.
Your kids love when you make them listen to a song.
Yeah, I said, you got to sing it. Come on, it's the chorus. Let's get it going.
And we were dancing
and singing and moving.
Well, I'm a little
doing the white boy shuffle like as I was driving.
And then there's play that funky music, white boy. Yeah. That so I'm a little envious. My son, he has a birthday. We're talking about some birthdays. So I've got both my sons have birthdays next week. So my oldest, the one that's here now, the youngest is back in Thibodeau. Anyway, so one of our best friends as a birthday present is taking him see Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh man,
down in the same, and it's kind of funny. He's the musician, the one, so he's great. He knows a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire songs, and he's downloaded the playlist, and he's got them all. But I've been driving him crazy because, and I said this, I like some Earth, Wind, and Fire music, but I pay $20 if they just let me walk in, see them sing September, and then I'm saying, that's all I want.
Oh man, I like Earth, Wind. I can remember Earth, Wind, and Fire was one of the first 8 tracks we had. And we had a pool table at my parents' house, and
hang on, let me set the scene, man.
I used to thump the bass for Shining Star on the pool stick, man.
Thump the bass.
That's right.
You're my shining star, no matter who you are. That, and my son even likes the song "After the Love Is Gone." Yeah, I'm like, I hate that song. That was one of the quickest ways for me to grab the radio dial. But he loves that. So I've been driving him crazy. And even yesterday, he was with us at the brewery thing. And he's like, they got more songs in September. I know they do that. I know they do. But
yeah.
And that's a song they close with. They close with that. So
September.
Yeah, and then they come back and do some kind of encore. The Goo Goo Dolls, they close with Iris the first time, right? You close before the encore closes, which is kind of funny. I know you love that song, and I'm okay with it. But man, it's like that's like Stairway, man. They do Iris, and everybody just
it's the one song everybody knows.
It's that and me with his name, but Iris, and then they came back and did, I forget what was the first song of the encore, but they close with Tom Petty, "Running Down the Dream." And I normally hate when a band covers.
I like stuff like that.
Well, it depends. The times I've seen bands that don't play all of their hits, and then they play right, and then they end up playing a cover. Like, no, dude. If I want to see a cover band, I'm gonna go to a bar.
What I typically like is if they can, find a cover song that has basically the same rhythm line as one of their songs. Kind of segue out of their song, hit the cover, and then segue back in.
Well, you're doing music producing right now. That's what you do. Okay. Yeah. Give me the perfect scenario, and then look, I'm still mad all these years later. It must be 6, 7, 8 years from now. Bon Jovi saw those idiots at the Houston Rodeo, and they closed with "Twist and Shout." I mean, that was the last encore. That was just like anyway. Me too. And like really, and there were other songs they did not play, right? They did not play in their set. And like, no, that's wrong. But anyway, so There you go. Music lessons with.
Well, you see his birthday week in my house too. Yesterday was my oldest son's birthday.
Nice, nice.
Yep, he turned 30.
Happy birthday. Is he out of the country right now?
Yep, he is in Costa Rica because that's how
Okay.
he lives.
Okay.
Yeah, just there for a month or two. Yeah, working. And today, it's Saturday. Today is my dad's 88th birthday. So
There you go. Happy birthday, Mr. Semino.
that's right. Going to take him down to Thibodeau for dinner tonight.
No dinner.
Well, that's right. 'Cause I tell you, my sister, you see, I sent my sister a note the other day. I said, "Hey, we're taking Daddy to dinner. You want to come with us?" And she responded that I had to clarify, was dinner the noon meal or the nighttime meal? And I said, I guess I've been away from Pankerville for too long because that's my nighttime meal. My daddy still calls it supper. I guess my sister does too.
Yeah, I guess. But to me, supper is just supper. Like there's no, like you never had lunch and called it supper, right? So I guess So they call lunch dinner. Is that what happens?
No, right. They eat dinner and supper.
This is okay. I'm flashing back. My dad and I used to have, I know in our lifetime, I probably had 20 different conversations with my dad about, okay, it's not, dinner is not lunch.
Yeah.
They don't call it the dinner room. They call it the lunch room. Okay. When you're in school, right? Yeah, I'm going down to the dinner room. No, bro, it's lunch. You know why? Because they don't serve you dinner you have lunch at school. You have supper at home. Dinner is what them northern people eat. We don't even know what dinner is. And then when they started throwing in brunch, oh, stop it. Brunch. What's the difference between brunch and lunch? Well, you can drink mimosas and pretend that's supposed to be.
You started late. You eat brunch. You eat lunch food. It's just a little earlier in the morning.
About a bunch of rich ladies that like getting a buzz on at 11 o'clock in the morning and call it brunch. Hey, let's get buzzed on Sunday morning. Well, we might have a problem if we do that. Hey, let's call it brunch. Let's drink stuff that looks like it's orange juice. But man, we're gonna get chalky. Check this out.
Yeah, keep it coming.
Check this
Bottomless mimosas.
I know. Man, them eggs are good. I wouldn't know.
I didn't want to waste my buzz.
I got about 3 gallons of mimosas in me, but I had to chuckle this week. So I live here in Texas, and I will say this: back when our governor started lining up buses, I thought it was a stunt. Kind of was a stunt, I guess. I was thinking, I'd probably rather you try to figure out a way to stop the 100,000 or so a month coming across. But that's just me. I would be, but shy of that if you want to start putting some of them on like a fraction of
or an ounce of prevention.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Putting them on a bus. So I thought it was a stunt, and then I started chuckling when New York and DC started complaining about, hey, wait a minute, sanctuary, right? Hey, wait, you can't send these people that we're allowing to flood in. And then this last week, he started sending buses to Chicago. Now that's just a beautiful thing, because the mayor gets out there.
Mayor Beetlejuice.
Whatever. Hey, man. Wait, you do you, whatever. But in her comments, I don't even know if it was scripted. She basically said it was inhumane to send these people to Chicago. Inhumane.
Hey, she's got a point.
That's a good soundbite for the mayor of a major city. It's inhumane to send these people here. They're better off in the desert, or they want us. What they want is.
Now, I did hear an interview with your governor one day this week, and he gave out a website which I thought was pretty interesting, that you can actually sponsor a bus.
Yes. 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 That's beautiful.
If you hate the immigrant situation but live in middle America, send us some money. We'll pay. You even get to pick where you want the bus to go to.
And here's what's amazing. So I think total between New York and DC and maybe Chicago, I think they've bussed maybe 10,000. Maybe. I don't think it's that much. And these places are losing their mind.
Yeah.
Right. we can't take it. Now, granted, these are all, and the other thing too, and it's kind of well thought out. And it says they're only sending buses to places that advertise we are a
Right,
sanctuary.
we're a sanctuary city.
So we don't
know
care.
You can't get here from where you are.
New York will let you vote. New York will let you vote. I mean, New York.
I heard that in
literally
New York, and they're putting some of them up in luxury hotels.
100%, 100%. So you say that, and all right, because we got a lot of folks. You want? We got more. How many you want?
We got 10,000. That's just that's a slow week.
They gave the stat the other day that in the last under 2 years, the last 18 months, we've had as many people as the population of Alabama. The entire population of the state of Alabama is about 5 million people.
Yeah.
So we've added an Alabama in the last 18 months of good luck, right? And here's my thing, and this is my fun throwing logic back at people. So whatever side you're on, whatever flag you salute, whatever you do, I just like going back to the logic of, okay, this is what we're doing. Why? Okay. And what are we gonna do with it? What's the game plan?
Yeah, let's play it out.
What, all these people come in and stay where? What do you?
Yeah,
you
bring
know?
them to your house.
You got, yeah, I got an extra room. You know, I guess right. Is that how it works? I guess somebody said a funny line the other day with the student loan forgiveness stuff. They said, am I gonna get a picture of the college student that I'm funding put on my refrigerator? Just saying. Just saying. All right, guys, we're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape. And if it did, you're going to be watching it. And if it didn't, you don't know.
Labor Day.
All right, if you want to reach out to us outside of social media, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And man, so many places. Everywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere. YouTube, you want to watch this glorious looking stuff. You just want to listen to it. Anywhere where you can find a podcast, we're there. And if you know Matt, we need the break, man. Hook him up. Matt at the car wash.
Matt at the car wash. Look. Or if you just want to feel better about your lot in life right now, call up Matt. Matt will tell you. He's
just say, hey.
He's sort of a backwards motivational speaker.
Right. You give him that rhetorical, how's it going, bro? He'll tell you.
Yeah, and he'll just say, I don't know how bad a day you think you having. I don't know how bad a life. Let me tell you where 48 years on this earth has gotten me.
Nowhere.
Well,
it's in my life is in the toilet.
I'll bet you if you gave me 5 live minutes with Matt, I could make him see, dude, here's the stuff you got to be thankful for. Right? Really. The fact that you interacting with Juan Semino. What? Dude, you're on a planet with 6 billion people and you've got a one-to-one interaction going on with Kung Fu Master Juan Semino.
That's right, man.
Come on, bro. Turn that life around. Come on, Matt. We're rooting for you, bro. Rooting for you. I don't know. You got a picture to go with that? No?
I'll send it to you. I'm not putting the dude's picture up on here. Because he did send me a picture. When he said, look at my life, he sent me a picture of him like looking all depressed at the car wash.
Seriously. Oh, yeah, man. That must be like I'm always wondering if that's like a parody or a joke. But anyway, so we're going long again. But so yeah, that, and not just Matt, everybody. We tell you every week, man. It's not a suggestion, not a hint. Good grief. We're not subtly implying anything. It's a freaking mandate,
dude. We're not coming back next time and saying we didn't mean it, that we just meant it was a suggestion. You know, this is the government. There. We mean this.
Get out there and live your best life, bro. I mean, make it the best, make today the best day ever. And if it's late in the day and you think, you know what, okay, start tomorrow or start tonight.
Right. This has been the best hour of your day for sure.
Yeah. You can
keep it rolling.
Chalk that off. Like, man, that was the best hour of my week so far. What can I do to build on this? And then you do. The best way to have the best day is to have the best hour, man. And then before you know it, you look around and you're like, man, you want to reach out to guys like Matt and say, Matt,
come with me, Matt. Come on. I'll show you.
Come on, man. Get on this journey. There's lots of room. Right? There's not just a pie out there with a certain amount of success on it. Everybody, you got to stop that. When somebody else is successful, that doesn't mean there's less success to go around.
I mean, how big that slice is, you get yours.
That's right. Get yourself a slice. That sounds right next to quock chewed 'em.
Slice. We could have been talking about like a refreshing lemon lime drink.
That's it, man. Look, the front of the shirt's gonna be quack chewed and on the back. Get you a slice.
Get yourself a slice.
Hey, man. Life is a success pie. Get yourself a slice. Is it a slice of pie? Slice of cake.
Yeah, slice of. I say a piece of pie.
Piece of pie. Slice of cake. No, it's not a slice of cake. You slice the cake. You don't say, give me a slice of, you say, give me a piece of cake.
I don't know. I say, give me some cake. I'm being honest.
Bro, you eating that?
Give me some cake.
I want a corner, extra frosting. Just saying. All right. Okay, everybody. There it is. The buffet is served for you. We're going to go. We're going to get out of here. I got a fantasy team to draft. Juan's got, I don't know what you got going on today.
Birthday dinner.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make
Supper.
sure your sister tell your dad happy birthday.
Yeah.
And everybody, we'll catch you next week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. Dude, that's smart. I mean, I can remember he wouldn't go to class, and then he'd go freaking read the textbook and go take the midterm and set the curve.
Yeah, it's just that guy. Yeah. Of course, it also helped that when we were in there, like he was probably 28 years old.
I might have had it a few times.
I remember thinking, like, man, this is the coolest guy I've ever seen. Well, yeah, man, he should be married with a family by now. You're a 20-year-old kid working at KNSU. This guy is,